What was your most unforgettable runaway from home attempt? My parents weren't like abusive or anything, but they were super strict. I'm talking no social media, no hanging out with friends on school nights, and my phone had to be turned in at 9 p.m. every night. Literally medieval torture for a teenage girl. The final straw came after this huge fight about my grades. I'd been struggling in math, always hated it, still do TBH, and got a D on my report card. My parents flipped. They took my phone for a month, banned me from seeing my friends, and made me spend weekends doing extra math worksheets instead of anything fun. I was texting with my best friend Charlotte at school about how unfair it was, and she was like, just come stay with me for a few days, my parents won't care. Her family was mad chill compared to mine. Her mom let her have boys in her room with the door closed. I was jealous AF. So I decided to run away. Now I wasn't completely stupid. I knew I couldn't just disappear forever. I was thinking like a 3-4 day protest to show my parents they were being unreasonable. Maybe they'd realize how much they missed me and stop being so strict. I packed a backpack with like the absolute essentials. 3 t-shirts, my favorite hoodie, a pair of jeans, some underwear, my school makeup bag, and like $43 I'd saved from birthday money. I also took this silver necklace my grandma gave me that I thought I could maybe sell if I needed more cash. Teen logic, LOL. I waited until everyone was asleep, probably around 1 a.m. Our house had this super creaky wooden hallway, so I literally practiced walking through it for weeks before I ran away, finding exactly where to step to avoid making noise. I felt like a ninja that night, swear to God. The plan was to walk to this 24-hour convenience store about a mile away and call Charlotte to come get me. But here's where everything went sideways. Charlotte's phone was dead, like completely off, no response. I tried calling her house phone. Yes, they still had one. But her dad answered, and I panicked and hung up. So there I was, sitting outside this 7-Eleven at 2 a.m., no ride, and starting to low-key freak out. The guy working inside kept giving me weird looks through the window. I was just sitting on the curb trying to figure out what to do when this red sedan pulls up. There were 2 guys and a girl, probably college age. The girl rolled down her window and asked if I was okay. I must have looked pathetic AF because she immediately offered me a ride. Her name was Melissa, and she seemed super nice, telling me they were coming back from a party and could drop me somewhere. Now I know this sounds dumb, don't get in cars with strangers and all that, but teenage me was desperate. It was getting cold, and I figured having a girl there made it safer. Plus, Melissa had this really gentle voice and kept saying she just wanted to help. I told them I needed to get to Charlotte's house, but didn't have her exact address. Another brilliant part of my plan. The guys were talking quietly in the front seat while Melissa kept asking me questions. How old I was, why I was out so late, if my parents knew where I was. I started noticing we weren't going toward Charlotte's neighborhood at all. We were heading toward the highway. When I pointed this out, the guy driving, Steve I think, said they needed to make a quick stop first. That's when the alarm bells really started going off in my head. Melissa kept trying to keep me calm, saying they just needed to drop something off with a friend, and then they'd help me find Charlotte's house. But then the other guy, Benjamin, turned around and asked if I had ever been to a real party. The way he said it made my skin crawl. We stopped at a red light and I noticed a police car in the lane next to us. In that moment, I made the fastest decision of my life. I said I felt sick and needed air. Melissa actually rolled down my window a little, and I pretended to take deep breaths. The second, the light turned green, I yanked the door handle, pushed the door open with my foot, and literally rolled out of the moving car. I hit the pavement hard, scraping my hands and knees, but adrenaline had me on my feet instantly. The car screeched to a stop and Benjamin started to get out. I sprinted toward the police car, screaming at the top of my lungs. The cop immediately put his lights on, and when I looked back, the red sedan was peeling away in the opposite direction. The officer was this older guy named Officer Warner who looked like someone's grandpa. When I told him I'd run away from home, he just nodded like he'd heard it all before. He didn't lecture me or anything, just asked if I was hurt and if I wanted to go to the hospital. I said no, I just wanted to go home. The ride back to my house was the longest 15 minutes of my life. I kept imagining what would have happened if I hadn't jumped out of that car. Where were they really taking me? What would they have done? The worst part was walking up to my front door at 3 a.m. with a police officer. My mom opened the door in her bathrobe, looking confused until she saw me. The look on her face, from confusion to relief to pure anger, is something I'll never forget.